Hello and welcome to the FIFA Premier League preview with Sam Turner and Daniel Frost. The Premier League is 2 weeks old, and as the excitement of the opening matches begins to ebb away, we travel to Stamford Bridge as Chelsea take on Leicester City. Returning to the top flight after 10 years, the Foxes have a lot to prove against a new-look Chelsea side full of new faces and old. It's the first home game of the season for the Blues, and Dan has picked his starting 11.
Yes, my starting 11, I've gone for Thibaut Courtois in goal, a defence of Branislav Ivanovic, Gary Cahill, John Terry and new signing Felipe Luis. In midfield, I've gone for two central midfielders of Nemanja Matic and Cesc Fabregas, with ahead of them Eden Hazard, Willian and Oscar, right behind the big signing, the big money signing, Diego Costa.
And facing up against that formidable 11, in a traditional 4-4-2 formation, we've got Kasper Schmeichel in goal, a defence for Leicester City of Delat, Upson, Morgan and Konchesky. Mahrez, Drinkwater, James and Knockert are in the midfield, supporting the strike pairing of Nugent and Eloa. Hello and welcome, it's kickoff at Stamford Bridge in Fulham Road in London, the swanky part of London, where it's far too expensive to even live, breathe or drink. This is a FIFA Premier League preview. I'm your host Sam Turner. Alongside me is the aficionado that is Daniel Frost. Hello.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Hello there. I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Other than I'm slightly angry because you are playing Chelsea. If you watched the show last week, then you'll know that Chelsea is my team. Thanks to... Oh, my word, this has got off to a fiery start. Thanks to blood links with my father.
Those are often links you have with your father.
That's often how it works. So thanks, Dan, for stealing my team.
Well, you did pick this match, and I was scheduled to be the home team, so yes. You've only got yourself to blame.
That's true. Welcome. So this is the show where we play FIFA 14 for your enjoyment, not very well, and we try and predict what's going to happen in the Premier League. Last time we played, Man United beat Swansea 3-2. The reason why we're not shouting for joy or in tears of commiseration about whether that score was right or wrong is because, well, we're doing a bit of a back to the future with this. You'll know the score by the time you see this, but we don't, because someone's going on their honeymoon.
Hello.
So we're kind of loading these babies up. Oh my word!
Oh, we squeezed it in!
A disastrous start for the newly promoted Leicester City. It's going to be a tough season for Leicester, don't you think, this year?
I think it is. I mean, they've got a lot of money, which bodes well in their favour. Just squeezed it in there. And they did play some nice football last year, so it's difficult. It's difficult to say because obviously you don't necessarily know how a lot of these players, because a lot of them are unknown to the Premier League, how they're going to be able to adapt. They have brought in one or two kind of players with Premier League experience, like Matthew Upson, Mark Brighton from my team, Aston Villa. So there are some there, but it's still a bit of an unknown quantity.
Straight out play, a bit sloppy from Leicester. Leicester's chances at the Bridge don't look that good. Looking at their head-to-head together, the last time Chelsea and Leicester met, it was 5-2 to Chelsea. That was in the FA Cup back in 2012. The last time they met in the league was all the way back in 2004 at, would it have been the Walker Stadium by then?
Yeah, I think it was then.
And it was 4-0 to Chelsea there. So the last time Leicester were in the Premier League back in 2004, Chelsea beat them both times. A home win 2-1 and away win 4-0. So I don't think this is going to go well for me. I think there's going to be a Chelsea win on the cards. But some lovely running from the wing here. He's got to get this ball in. It's a tasty one. Cross the... Oh. And there you are. You stuck Courtois in goal. You've not gone with Cech. Do you think there's going to be lots of fresh faces in this Chelsea squad when it comes round to...
I don't think necessarily lots of fresh faces, sorry. Don't think there's going to be fresh faces. However, I mean, I did bring in Courtois. I think more than anything, I think Chelsea are worried about losing him, and so they've thought it's a time now. Czech, who is coming towards the end of his career, to bring Courtois in because he's only 22.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to.
He needs to be sort of bled in, which I think is kind of or broken in, bled in.
I mean, the argument could be that he's been broken in for the past few seasons at Atletico Madrid, playing at the very peak of Spanish football. So that's kind of come into play. So he's been broken in, as you so gently put it. But now he needs to get the experience of playing in the Premier League, because that is a different experience.
I'm not sure what kind of Premier League experience Mourinho is going to get him. Again, down on this right-hand side, Chelsea appearing weak there. Oh, cross, just being cut out. A corner here, sort of midway
on that side.
Midway through the first half, a little bit too deep. No one's going to pick that up. It's up to Morgan now to sort of try and get a little bit of afters. Of course, Courtois, another big signing. Fabregas, who's kind of Lampard's replacement in the middle, I think, along with Matic. It's going to be really interesting. Oh, my word! Aloha, the signing in to Leicester City, sneaks in a goal, just sneaks it, curls it right past the face of Courtois there, showing a little bit of from the edge of the box as well. This is just all the defenders stand off, and Terry unusually cautious going into the tackle. It's 1-1. This could be quite an interesting match. So Fabregas is coming in for the Chelsea squad. David Luiz has left, which I think is one of the best pieces of business that Mourinho did in the summer.
I think everyone would agree with that, especially after the World Cup.
And one of the weirdest bits of business done all summer was bringing back Didier Drogba. He's on the sub bench for you in this Premier League preview. Oh my word, this could be another. He's through there. What an incredible tackle there from the ever reliable Ivanovic. So what do you think about the old Drogba move? Do you think that's just kind of giving Drogba a place to go? Do you think there was some sort of offer on the table after he left?
I think it's a combination of giving him a place to go and nostalgia and kind of old friendships, and Mourinho knowing basically what he can do. And I'm sure he could play a small part. He's not going to be able to do much.
No, he's not going to get week in, week out football, is he, really?
Absolutely.
I think that it's time now for Chelsea to really, oh my word, to really get themselves an established striker. Because they've not really had one. Last season really struggled, and the goals were really coming from midfield. So I think personally, as a Chelsea fan, I want them to have a sort of established striker, someone who's going to make the difference in those games that count, which is
hopefully for them, that's what Diego Costa will be.
Hopefully, but my worry is that Chelsea's problem for a long time is that this squad has been set up for a player like Drogba and hasn't changed since. And I worry that Mourinho's thinking is that basically, I worry that Mourinho hasn't got another plan, and he's just like, well, I might as well just bring Drogba back, and see if that helps him out in sticky situations. But it's going to be, I think Chelsea's season is going to be really interesting, because obviously I think that last year it helped them having Man United drift away. But I think Man United are going to be back in the fold, at least challenging for a top 4 position again this season. And obviously I think Liverpool are again going to be contesting those positions. Oh my word! I've never seen anything like that.
I don't know what is going on with this Chelsea team at the moment. They are really struggling with Leicester City.
Well, Chelsea have obviously got. I think that Chelsea got quite a hard couple of weeks in the Premier League. The first Monday they're playing Burnley away, and then they've got Leicester, 2 promoted sides back to back. It's never easy, that really, is it?
No. It's half time.
It is indeed half time, Danny Frost, and it's 1-1. This is a sneaky little goal from Oscar, and another sneaky little goal from Aloha, and that's what decided. Any changes, do you think, at half time?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have a little chat with my players. Tell them what's what. and then we'll see how they come out in the second half. We'll just have to wait and see, because I'm not gonna lie, they've not impressed me so far. All of their positions are up for grabs at the moment after that performance. So Oscar, maybe he's scored, he's done okay, but yeah, there's no fluidity in this team at the moment. So they need to book their ideas up.
Definitely. Well, let's get the second half underway then. Let's not waste any more of our time. Before actually the whistle does blow down, obviously being an Aston Villa supporter, and please don't think that I'm playing down Aston Villa's chances in the league, but surely you must see Leicester as a team that you've got to beat in the league.
Well, yeah,
No
I think
excuses.
I think any team already in the Premier League looks at a promoted side and thinks they're a team I should be beating, and especially with Aston Villa being down. But that's what I mean. Like
you possibly might be in that position again this year. So more
they
than
are,
most,
they are your
you've got to be
games.
you've got to be taking points off Leicester City if surely.
You would think so, and you would hope so, because you don't want to. Last season we actually ended up relying on results against the likes of Chelsea and Man City and Arsenal, which is not something a relegation threatened side should ever be doing.
No.
So we can't rely on them again. So we need to just improve against the weaker sides, which I don't think any Leicester fan would argue with me saying that they are a weaker side to the likes of Chelsea and Man City.
Yeah. What do you think of the promoted sides that have come up this season? So we've got Burnley, Leicester, and QPR back in the top flight.
Yeah.
What do you think of their chances for this season?
Oh, sorry, I got distracted.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's allowed.
It's difficult to say, because I think QPR are probably the best placed, because there's so many aspects of that club that are used to and are confident playing in the Premier League. Whether that's the players, the management, all those aspects, the Premier League is a familiar environment to them. Whereas with Leicester and Burnley,
it's been
not
so long
much.
for 10 years out of the top flight for Leicester. It's been a few years for Burnley as well. I mean, it always is tough, and I think if you can stick around for one season or two, then you're doing all right.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think none of the signings really that any of the teams have made have really kind of made me think, yes, you're definitely going to stay up. I mean, even though, surprise, surprise, QPR have again spent money, even though they constantly spend too much money. Yeah. And Harry Redknapp consistently spends money. They spend a load on Rio Ferdinand or something like that. So, hang on.
Rio Ferdinand was free, wasn't he?
But in Rio Ferdinand you've got wages and stuff as well. So
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, QPR's wage bill is quite astronomical, which is one of the reasons they got in the position that they did. But I think they've definitely got the players and the experience to stay up. Whereas I think a team like Leicester City might struggle, even though today they're putting the goals past Chelsea. This is 2-1 now to Leicester City. David Nugent scoring in the 62nd minute. This is quite unheard of.
One of the worst games I've ever played.
Definitely. Chelsea all over the place in the box there. I think all eyes are going to be on Chelsea's defence maybe this year. Terry's obviously hanging around. Cahill really needs to be taking up the baton and being the leader in defence, I think.
Which he has begun to do as well.
But
it's something that he has started.
But with Terry hanging around, I don't know what help that brings to him. And after seeing what happened with Man United and the old guard in defence last season, I think that is cause for a little bit of trouble. So we'll see what happens.
We'll know that they brought in Kurt Zuma, or Zuma, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Maybe that's kind of, he's a young defender, and maybe keeping Terry around for a year to enable him to maybe get used to the Premier League will be what Mourinho's thinking, because he knows he's only at the end of the day he's only given John Terry a 1-year contract, so he knows. I mean, John Terry's not here for the long term.
John Terry wants to play in a Champions League final. That much is obvious. He wants to have another shot at sort of regaining a bit of the credibility that he lost in that year. You know, missing a penalty and then being absolutely awful in getting sent off in the semi-final. Hello, nudged off the ball, sneaks it. Oh, Ulloa going for a second there. This is just getting nudged off the ball in your own box.
It's not good enough, Terry. It's not good enough.
This is the act of a man who's already checked out for his honeymoon. Everybody, this is a man who wants this game to be over and done with before he's going away. You going somewhere sunny, Dan?
I am. I'm going to Sunny Roads. Sunny Roads for a lovely 10 days.
Obviously, where Gary's from.
Yeah, he named himself after the place.
Ooh, lovely tackle there, last ditch. Another player just knock you out, running straight into the box. I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful time. Do you, when you're away on holiday and with the Premier League starting, how much do you try and keep up to date with what's happening? Are you going to bother? Or?
Well, actually, I fly out pretty much as the opening game of the season starts.
All right, okay.
So I'm not going to be able to see any of it. So I'm debating whether or not to try and avoid kind of finding anything out, like just record match of the days and Gillette Soccer Saturdays and all that jazz,
and let it unfold as if you were
exactly
really there.
Just try and binge on it when I come back.
I possibly think that you might find some of it quite hard to avoid.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Leicester there just trying to get a sneaky third as we approach the 80th minute now. Chelsea on the attack. They could easily find their way through, but this defence is really holding up. Yeah, I think whenever I go away, I do like the novelty of knowing what's going on back home. But I guess seeing it as your honeymoon, the mood might be a little bit shaken up if you're talking about how well or how badly Aston Villa are doing.
I have been known on previous holidays to kind of leave my partner to go.
What? Have you done
to go watch football
and sit on your own in a pub and leave your partner alone?
Yeah.
Really?
But you have the lovely aspect of being in the pub surrounded by other men all on their own, and everyone's in the exact same position. There's just like a pub full of like tables, each with just one solitary man on them.
And none of them speaking to each other.
Exactly.
Because that's the British way. Oh man, Williams over on the cross. Oh, great save there. It's got to get this out of the box. Lovely overhead kick. 3 minutes go to full time. Can Leicester hang on for this this unlikeliest of wins against a team which are definitely going to be contesting for the Premier League title this season? This could throw the Premier League preview right open. It's what could be happening. Really only a minute left on the clock, which is in FIFA times is no time left at all. 2 minutes of added time, which should give you enough for an attack.
I'm very disappointed in my performance today. It's not what I come to expect from myself.
Oh, just offside. That's a little attack. Please, Dan, even though I love the image of you sitting alone in a pub watching football, please don't leave your new bride, your new bride alone to go and watch football on your honeymoon of all places. You've got the rest of your lives.
It's over.
But brilliant, fantastic. It's going to be 2-1 to Chelsea. This is what the FIFA Premier League preview predicts.
2-1 to Leicester.
Against Leicester. Oscar scoring first, but then Leicester coming back with a nice 2-goal advantage to claim the win over the Londoners. Brilliant. Well, that's a turn up for the books. That's not how it's going to happen. Statistics tell us that's not really going to happen, is it, Dan?
No, I don't see it happening that way. I'm just disappointed in myself, really.
There's another loss on the board, because we're not only charting the fates and hopes of your Premier League clubs that you love and enjoy, but also the hosts that you love and enjoy, myself and Dan. So this is the head-to-head after 2 games, and it's 2 wins to me, 2 losses to you, Dan.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that.
That's all right. You've got the rest of the season to buck your ideas up.
We've got 36 games left.
Yes, exactly. So thank you very much for joining us. We're going to be back next week. Once again, time travelling in a weird sort of way whilst Dan is still enjoying his holidays. But we'll be bringing you the Premier League feast, which is going to be Tottenham Hotspurs versus Liverpool.